Hi, Bob Canote, Camp Chaos Chronicles. And the team has a couple of days here where the majority are going to be able to get together and put in a concentrated effort on the Champ Car. The problem with it has been that it's on the rotisserie and it's not real movable. It's taken up a lot of space that we need for another project. So the goal here is to get the roll cage in, get the suspension, wheels and tires underneath it, and get the bottom of it all finished up with truck bed liners so that we can start installing systems over the top of it, fuel lines, brake lines, electrical stuff, and that sort of thing. So kind of a tall order for the next couple of days, but I got Alex, Tony, and Bill, and we're going to take a real run at this thing. So let's get to work. Dang it. Everybody got it figured out where they're going? Okay. Yeah, that ain't bad. Tony? No comic relief right now, okay?
It's the pressure from the taper of the engine that when the two pieces get pressed together. That's pretty dang good.
Today I'm going to give you a little insight as to why this place is called Camp Chaos. Now in the past videos you may have seen the shop as clean, organized, plenty of bench space to work on, all the things that you want to see in your shop. Well, every now and again all that goes in the tank, and that's what's happened here. You got to recognize when that actually happens and start to make a plan as to what to do about it. First of all, you can see on our welding bench here, which I like to keep dedicated to welding, you see 3 sets of pistons and liners out of Jaguar V12s. And this is related to my JaguarPreserve.com business and providing renovated and new and reconditioned parts for the Jaguar V12 engine. There's also some other parts related to the cylinder head back there that I really couldn't find any other place to put. On this bench right here, we got a couple of XJ40, XJ6 projects. One is the track car cylinder head over there, which is being renovated for track use, and this one right here, which is off my street car, my 94. And the reason I've got this one off is I had to take the head off in order to fix a an oil leak, and when you got the head off, you might as well spruce it up a bit. So also we got some bits here for the XJ40 project, my track car. I've got to put another throwout bearing in it, and despite the appearance, there's actually order to this stuff. You can see here we've got a set of cylinder heads off of one of the 3 aforementioned V12 spare engines that I've got in the shop. And on my rolling wastebasket bench, we'll explain why it's called that later, we've got the fuel injection harness for the Texas XJS. And the reason that this is being renovated is that all these things are broken and there's some cracks in the wire that you can hear forming underneath the insulation. And it's just too iffy to put back together, so I've got the connectors and the boots and so forth that are associated with that project. Over here, we've got the fuel injection rail and the fuel injectors and all the tubing and seals and cushions that we need in order to put the Texas XJS fuel injector system back on the car. A few ignition things there as well. Now, the way that you know you're in trouble as far as your capacity to do new projects in your shop, follow me. You can see we got another horizontal bench space here, which is consumed by another project. This is the XJ40 Champ Car lower control arms that we got to do some welding on and modification on, and also some subframe parts. So what I'm saying is that we are at a point where every bit of horizontal bench space in the shop has a project on it that is current, that we're working on right now. When you know you're really in trouble is when this starts happening. When you start taking projects and storing them on the floor, what you're looking at there is a minefield, because a guy like me of a certain historical perspective, that sort of thing right there, if I've got to get to that door to open it, or the compressor to turn it on or off, or use the bandsaw, I got to walk through that minefield. And it's a lot different for a guy my age than it is a guy that's 25 years old. I mean, you trip on something, it's not about catching yourself, it's like running out of fuel in an airplane. It's all about finding a soft place to land, and there is none there. So at this point, what we're doing is we're just kind of stopping putting anything new in the schedule, and we're gonna get several of these projects, like for example today, the 2 subframes, the front and rear subframe on the XJ40, that's gonna be on the car. The steering wheel, that's going to be on the car. And we're also going to be making a push on my street XJ40, where about 75% of this stuff should be out of here and where it's supposed to go by the end of next week or thereabouts. So anyway, that's what this place looks like when it is indeed chaos. So, kind of a milestone today. We finally got the bottom of the car cleaned off. We actually pulled 20 pounds of thick, heavy undercoating off of this car. That was applied by the factory or the dealer to deaden sound, I think is the primary reason, because it was thick, and also to prevent rust, which you kind of wonder about when it cracks, water gets in there, and then you got a rust hole, but that's what they did. So what we're putting on here, instead of just leaving it bare, is we're using the Duplicolor bed liner, truck bed liner. And it's a very tough material, and I've used it on the bottom of my XJS track car and run it through a gravel trap a couple of times, and it's very, very durable. The only problem with this stuff is that you can't use it where there's going to be liquid fuel, because this stuff will dissolve immediately if you get fuel on it. So we're going to have to come up with something else for the engine compartment, because you're going to be working with the fuel injection and the pump and so forth, disconnecting lines. You're going to get fuel on it. Need to find something that will be fuel proof. So once this stuff sets up, we've just painted this back here. Now it's time to strip off the tape and roll it to horizontal and start mounting subframes. The goal today is to get the front and rear subframe under it, get the steering hooked up, mount the wheels and tires, and then drop it onto some dollies so we can roll this thing around and work on it. So it's going to be a motivator. We've been at this for a while and we need to move on. Drop it. There's it. We might as well go ahead and tighten those finally.
It's like I'm Go-Go Gadget. Use my finger to screw an old knot.
Car looks better with wheels on it. It does.
Well, it's been a busy couple of days here at Camp Chaos. We got everything done that we planned on doing. We got it up on all four wheels so we can move it around now, kick it out the door if we need to. It's going to give us a lot more flexibility in the shop here for other projects. We got the roll cage in, it's primed, and we also have the bottom of the car all finished off with bed liner. So it's time to start installing systems. One of the last fabrication jobs that we have to do is the installation of the fuel cell. And it's not just like bolting in a fuel tank. It's got to have its own little crash structure unto itself. So that's going to be upcoming here. We're going to start to be wiring and plumbing this thing, and I'm getting pretty excited. It's starting to look like a race car. And if you like what you see, like us, subscribe, follow us on social media, and we'll see you the next time on the Camp Chaos Chronicles.